In the heart of Pine Hollow, a small farming town, the fields stretched far and wide, especially beautiful in October as the harvest wrapped up. But one field was different, rumored to be haunted by a scarecrow that only appeared on Halloween night. Years ago, the farmer who owned that land, Old Man Grayson, had put up the scarecrow after his crops were mysteriously ruined by something he called night shadows. He swore the scarecrow was alive, keeping watch for any trespassers. No one believed him until the scarecrow became the stuff of legend. People claimed that anyone who went into the field on Halloween would vanish without a trace, leaving only the scarecrow's eerie gaze behind. One Halloween night, a group of thrill-seeking teenagers dared each other to visit Old Man Grayson's field. Laughing, they stepped into the tall stalks, with only the moonlight illuminating the way. As they approached the scarecrow, a cold wind whipped through the field, carrying a faint whisper that grew louder, repeating, "Turn back." Ignoring it, they reached the scarecrow and noticed its face seemed freshly painted, a wide, sinister smile and dark eyes that almost seemed real. One of the teens dared to touch it, but as soon as he did, the scarecrow's head turned, and its eyes fixed on him with a chilling stare. Suddenly, the cornfield erupted with movement, shadows darting among the stalks. Panicked, they tried to escape, but each turn seemed to bring them back to the scarecrow. The last thing they heard was the whisper's final warning, "I told you to turn back." The next day, only their footprints remained, leading straight to the scarecrow, which now wore their terrified faces stitched into its burlap. In the town of Hollow Ridge, every October, lanterns lined the old stone bridge, each marking a life lost in the Great Flood a century ago. Townspeople swore that if you crossed the bridge at midnight on Halloween, you'd meet the lost lantern keeper, a spirit bound to the bridge for eternity, forever searching for his lost lantern. One stormy October night, a traveler named Ben, new to the town, scoffed at the story and decided to test it himself. Right at midnight, he crossed the bridge with a flashlight, laughing off the howling winds and eerie darkness. Halfway across, his flashlight flickered and died, leaving him stranded in pitch black. Just then, a dim light appeared ahead, an old-fashioned lantern, swinging in the air. Ben called out, hoping for a passerby, but the lantern kept swaying, drawing him deeper onto the bridge. As he approached, he realized no one was holding it. He felt a chill and turned to run, but the mist around him thickened, trapping him. The light grew brighter, illuminating a figure dressed in old, tattered clothes, holding a single rusted lantern. The figure pointed a skeletal finger at Ben and whispered, "Help me find my lantern." Terrified, Ben stumbled back, but the figure moved closer, its hollow eyes filled with despair. In his panic, Ben reached the other side of the bridge, but the figure's words echoed in his mind for days. Legend has it, Ben was found weeks later, wandering near the bridge, clutching an old lantern, his eyes empty, forever joining the lantern keepers of Hollow Ridge. In Oak Valley, an old apple orchard was a staple of the community, beloved for its annual apple-picking festival in October. But this year, the festival was cancelled after a series of strange disappearances in the orchard. Rumor had it that a shadowy figure was seen among the trees, watching visitors with glowing red eyes. Determined to find out the truth, Sarah, a brave and curious young woman, snuck into the orchard one October evening. Armed with a flashlight, she wandered among the trees, inhaling the sweet scent of ripe apples. The ground was blanketed in fallen leaves, and the silence was unnerving. But she was determined to solve the mystery and bring the festival back. As she ventured deeper, her flashlight caught a glimpse of a figure darting between the trees, a tall, shadowy shape with elongated limbs and hollow eyes. Heart racing, she turned to leave, but the figure was suddenly blocking her path, its body blending into the dark, twisting branches. Its red eyes locked onto her, and Sarah was paralyzed with fear as it whispered, "The orchard is mine." She tried to scream, but the figure's shadow wrapped around her, pulling her toward the tree trunks that now seemed alive, their branches reaching like claws. She could feel herself sinking into the ground. The last sound she heard was the figure's haunting voice, "You are part of the harvest now." The next day, the townspeople found her flashlight lying at the edge of the orchard. The orchard remains closed to this day, and they say that on Halloween night, if you listen closely, you can hear Sarah's voice calling out from among the trees, warning anyone who dares to enter.